today's theme, diving, carbon dioxide, and why it's so important to know how to properly breathe during the diving. Honestly, I don't understand why we're talking about these things so little in diving. I mean scuba diving, during the diving courses, especially the beginning courses. I'm trying to talk about this during the instructor courses because that helps and ease the life of any diving instructor, because now they can explain all the students where all the problems comes from. As an example, I can mention, for example, in the evening, if you're thinking about something, you cannot sleep just because the brain activity is really high. The brain has a lot of oxygen, and that's why it's so active. If you do a simple exercise, like for example 6 seconds inhale, hold the breath 6 seconds, then exhale 6 seconds, and on empty lungs hold the breath for another 6 seconds. And if you will do this exercise during 5 minutes, you will just fall asleep even without noticing about that. In diving, because you moving more actively, it means you producing a lot of carbon dioxide because it's a subproduct or the result of body using oxygen. So that means there is a lot of carbon dioxide in your lungs and your brain, because the lungs and brain is connected with a nerve. It's getting a lot of information about that there is a lot of carbon dioxide and you need more oxygen, which is wrong, because actually when you're breathing the air under the pressure, you get more oxygen than when you're breathing on a surface. Your muscles using oxygen turns it into the carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide goes to your lungs, and now there is a lot of carbon dioxide, and that's why your breathing increase. If we're talking simple words, your lungs from the tool which providing your body with the oxygen turns into the buoyancy tool. The problem which comes together with a high carbon dioxide level is that you constantly get this feeling that you need more oxygen. Basically, you can ignore it once, you can ignore this feeling twice, but then when it comes to the third time, the brain starts panicking. And that's where all the problems in diving comes from. What means breathing properly? So you're breathing deeply and slowly. What it means, deeply and slowly? That means that your inhale is about 5 seconds and your exhale is immediately after that, following with another 5 seconds. So basically your one inhale, exhale gonna be around 10 seconds. If you can do it slower, that's fine, but then that's actually needs some additional training. You have to retrain your body and tell it that then high level of carbon dioxide doesn't always means need for oxygen. And that's the difference when we're breathing here on a surface, on a sea level, and when we are breathing underwater. When my students are asking about how to improve breathing underwater, they're always giving this example about this slow breathing. But then when they are trying it underwater by themselves, they're telling me that they are doing some 3-4 breaths or the cycles of breathing what I've been telling them, and then they are feeling like a kind of it's not enough oxygen. So like one slow breath, another one, third one, and then they need to like compensate the oxygen. And it's actually because to breathe slowly you have to train for it. So that means every single day you have to do this simple exercise. So this is not something which really works in a diving. We are never holding the breath. Don't mix these things, but this is only for the training. In a diving we're inhaling and immediately exhaling. We never hold the breath just because we can get the barotrauma, because we're breathing compressed air underwater. This is only for the training and how to prepare yourself for the next diving trip. For example, I can inhale 20 seconds and then I am exhaling another 40 seconds. And it's absolutely enough for your body to have enough oxygen for all the processes happening in a body. when we're breathing on a surface, we never think about how long we have to inhale to fully fulfill our lungs. While when we're breathing underwater, because our lungs is one of the airspace is affected by the surrounded pressure, we have to think about how deeply we inhale. We have to force ourselves a little bit to inhale deeper, because simply imagine your lungs. You're breathing on a surface. When you inhale, so it's like normally, like on the surface, when you inhale, it's like, and it's full. But if you will do this one underwater, so that it will be halfly full only. So that means you have to force yourself to fully inflate your lungs. And that's the hardest thing for everyone, because we never inhale that long on a surface, just because simply it's not really needed. It's all shown on all the diving course videos that you have to breathe deeply and slowly. Why? No one really explains. And the first time when I really started thinking about that, that was my freediving. Learn during your freediving course is about how to eliminate this moment when the contractions, your diaphragm start contracting, because carbon dioxide level is really high. The brain gets the signal to inhale and it start trying to inhale. You understand that if you will inhale, you will just drink a lot of water, and that's why you're trying to like a kind of fight with it, but it takes effort. And that's why in a freediving we learn how to recognize these contractions, when it's a time to go back to the surface, how to postpone this moment. That's all the freediving is about this. Mostly all the diving accidents happen because people start panicking. Why they start panicking? Because of the carbon dioxide, because they build it up and they cannot control. I remember I did my trimix dive to 98 meters, weighs a lot of pressure, right? 98 meters, it's about 11 bars, right? So, and we needed to pull like simply 5 meters the rope to attach to the anchor. And in some point I understood that I'm not controlling my breathing anymore, because I'm just pumping the air out from the tank, and I can even see the pressure gauge needle is just, I can see it moving down. And then you understand this problem, but then you cannot stop just because it's just going its process, right? So that you have to force yourself to start breathing slowly. Like I always telling the people, or my students, and also someone who's trying for diving for the first time, I'm always say, if you feel panic coming up, all you have to do, exhale longer than inhale, right? So just exhale long, inhale short, exhale long, inhale short, and that solves all the problem in 3 simple breaths. That's it, 3 proper exhales, and you feel calm and nice again. What I've been talking all this episode about: do simple exercise every single day before you fall asleep. The first of all, you will improve your sleeping. Another thing, you will improve your breathing, not only for diving but also for your everyday, because a lot of things comes from wrong breathing. I understand it will be hard in the beginning, but start with the 5 seconds. Remember, 5 seconds. Inhale 5 seconds, hold the breath 5 seconds, then don't exhale immediately, but exhale 5 seconds. And on an empty lungs, hold for another 5 seconds. So the whole cycle will be inhale 5, hold 5, it will be 20 seconds. When you start feeling more comfortable with this exercise, increase amount of the second. Next, 6 seconds. Then when you feel comfortable with 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, try to, let's say for me, I ended up with inhaling, exhaling only once a minute. It actually becomes kind of useful only when you do it for some period of the time. Let's say you are able to do this exercise for 5 minutes in the beginning, then 10 minutes. If you want to go further, just increase it to 15 minutes. But that's, I think it's more than enough, because if you are able to breathe in this way for 15 or 10 minutes, you are absolutely okay. Next time when you will go underwater, you will comfortably breathe slowly and deeply, and you will never have this willing to compensate for the oxygen again. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe, follow, and see you tomorrow again. Bye.